gentlemen, let me plug the joint. Select man with a non-select mindset. Shout out Ron Wills. He did a joint titled Physically Select, Mentally Non-Select. I don't think the premise of that is talked about enough, in my opinion. Just across, YouTube, as far as the content creators that talk about the dynamics between man and woman, dating advice, things of that nature. I don't think that's talked about enough. I've touched on it. I just never put it in those terms. Again, physically select, mentally non-select is Rom's title for his joint. Y'all go check that out. The brother's always insightful. So when I listened to it, it actually took me down memory lane because he brought up high school. He brought up how some men have positive memories of dealing with the more attractive girls in high school, while other men have more negative memories of dealing with attractive girls in high school, and how that experience, negative or positive, how it imprints you going forward. And how literally, even if you're quote unquote the ugly duckling, now those are my words, not his. If you're quote unquote the ugly duckling, the guy that women kind of look past, maybe you were the guy that no woman wanted to go to prom with, you know what I'm saying? You end up having sex for the first time with a woman who wasn't very attractive, or maybe you even graduated high school and didn't have sex at all. And it wasn't from a lack of trying, you just couldn't get no woman, at least the women that you were attracted to look at you in that manner. And how even when you transform yourself, when you go from the ugly duckling and you, again, my words, not his, and you transform your body, now you on point, now you become the select man. Now you become physically select, but there's one problem. One problem. You transformed your body, but you never transformed your mind. So when he says physically select, mentally non-select, basically in a nutshell, what that means is this. When women see you, okay, you're no longer invisible like you used to be. Women are checking for you now. They even give you choosing signals. They may even approach you now, okay? But you're not used to that type of attention. You're not used to that type of success. You always wanted it, but you're not used to it. Now that you're getting it, you're not mentally prepared for it. You're not ready for it because you never transformed your mind. Due in part to, now you might be that 28-year-old, 6'3", 20 or 30 pound diesel dude, but mentally you're still that little shy boy, that little 17, 18-year-old ugly duckling. You went to the prom by yourself. The more attractive women in the high school, they dissed and dismissed you, right? So you still have all those anxieties, right? All those negative memories, okay? Those things permeate your motherfucking subconscious, right? So when you go out in the world and you deal with these women, you have a mental hurdle you were never able to get over. And see, and this is the thing, right? And this goes with anything. A lot of times when guys are looking to improve themselves, when it comes to being in position for women to finally notice them, they change everything but the most important thing. And that is your motherfucking mindset. If you don't change your mindset, you're still going to be stuck in the same boat. But now you're going to be even more depressed and upset because you feel like you put in all this work, effort, and energy to be more visible to women, only for women to take notice of you. But then when you interact with women, you get the same results for the most part. Now, if you improve your look, you can possibly end up having some sexual liaisons that you wouldn't have had if you didn't look the way that you look. But by and large, women are not just having sex with men simply because of their looks in droves. Meaning, it happens, okay? I've had women tell me this, attractive women that I've known throughout the years, they would tell me straight up, if a man is attractive enough, right? even if his game is kind of whack, and these exact words, even if his game is kind of whack, if he is attractive enough, I still might let him hit. But what you have to understand is you're going to find that more in the younger women, women in their early mid-20s, teenagers even. You're going to see that more then, right? As women get a little older, a little more mature, they experience men on all different types of levels. The majority of the time that they make a decision to sleep with or not sleep with the man is going to be based on your behaviors, regardless of how you look. Your behaviors is everything. Your behaviors is paramount to everything in life, not just with women, but everything, how you act, how you view yourself, how you think women view you, right? Those things matter because it's going to come out in your behaviors and your actions. It's going to come out in your conversation, the things you elect to talk about. They're going to be revealed in your conversations. So when Rom talks about physically select, mentally non-select, and of course my title is, a play on words, but now you are the select man. You are a select man with a non-select mindset. You don't have the mindset of a man who has been successful slaying attractive women. You have the mindset of a man who has maybe some moderate level of success sleeping with average looking women, maybe slightly above average looking and even below average looking. But what happens is the more attractive women, you are still, again, you're still stuck in that time warp of that 17, 18-year-old high schooler that was imprinted. And that's what Rom talked about, the imprint. You're imprinted. And what's so funny, man, is there are guys who follow me. And some of y'all know who y'all are. I ain't naming no names. Some of y'all worked on y'all body. Y'all lift them weights, right? You take them pictures. You look like the guy that women would be checking for. You look like the guy that women are actually approaching in some cases. But when women start interacting with you, the mental aspect of your game, right? Your mindset, it doesn't match up. It doesn't align with how you look. And here's the reality of it. Call it unfair or not. When you look a certain way, okay, this is society overall, but more specifically with women. When you look a certain way, people will prematurely judge you based on how you look. They're going to automatically assume that you have a certain personality, that you may be a certain way based on how you look. So if you look like a ladies' man, if you look like you could be a player or a womanizer, when women interact with you, they are going to expect the conversation from you to be exactly that. Even if you're not a player, even if you're not a womanizer, they will expect that you're going to come off in such a way that you are that guy. That you not only are you the physically select, but you're also the mentally select. Because how you act, how you behave, it matches your body. It matches how you look. If you look like the guy where women find you to be physically appealing, and also you're the type of guy where you exude sex appeal just because of your overall look, they're going to expect the conversation to match that. And many times it doesn't. And that's because you are physically select, but you're mentally non-select. You are a select man with a non-select mindset. You don't have a winning mindset. You have a losing mindset. Okay, this is why you have guys, they pedestalize attractive women. Now they will act like average looking women, slightly above average looking women, and even below average looking women. They'll act like they got game for those women all day. They can talk to those women however. But then they run into the more attractive women. And now they stumbling over their words. Instead of talking about sex, they start offering dates. Why is that? I guarantee you, if you took a trip with them back in time to their high school days, or even their college days if they were in college, or just their early 20s, period, you're going to find that what Rom said had validity to it. That they were imprinted by their treatment of the more attractive young women in their high school. They were pretty much ignored, man. They were passed over. You see it play out on YouTube. There was a panel on Offie's channel, probably about a year ago now. It was a panel on Offie's channel. It was probably about 10 of us. I know I was there, Lucario was there. It was a bunch of people. And we were 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning going strong, right? And there was this one guy, I'm not gonna call his name, there was one guy in particular. He was in a position where he was an entrepreneur, right? Made good money. He could travel, he can go kick it in various places for weeks at a time. You know, he got his money up like that. But one thing he kept harping on was how when he was in high school, all the jocks, the players, they were sleeping with all these women, but now they're all broke. They ain't got nothing going on for themselves, but now he's up. Now he kept going back in time and referring to his high school days. And what happens to a lot of guys, they have resentment, man. They have bitterness because they were always passed over, you know what I'm saying, as teenagers and maybe even in their early, even mid-20s, probably even beyond that, where they were always looked over, okay? They were never the select guy. They were never the type of guy that women, you know, coveted or even threw themselves at. They was never that guy. And they always looked at the guys and they always felt like these guys are losers. These guys are just using these women. They're just running through these women. But I wouldn't be that way. I would actually treat these women like I care about them, right? So they developed this angst. They developed this bitterness and this resentment, not only towards the guys that was getting all the ass, but they developed the resentment towards the women. You see it on YouTube all the time. What do you see? Oh man, these girls, you know, they want to fuck all the Chads and Tyrone, and they want to get ran through all through their prime years, all through their 20s. Now they're approaching 30, and now they want to settle down. Now they want to look for the good guy. But we've been getting passed over for all these years. You see it play itself out because they've been imprinted, man. They've never had positive treatment from attractive women. And the only time attractive women do pay them attention is when they spending money on them. Other than that, attractive women ain't fucking them on a strength that they feel like they are select. Shout out Ron Wills. Physically select, mentally non-select. Select man with a non-select mindset. The reality of it is this. When women make a decision to ultimately sleep with you or not sleep with you, it's gonna be based on your mindset. It's gonna be based on how you act. It's gonna be based on how you behave, regardless of how you look. See, this is why when guys say shit like, oh, if you're really good looking, you don't need no game. The reason why these guys say that is because they've never been in that position where women were wanting to sleep with them on the strength of they exuded sex appeal. They've never really experienced that in their life. But what they did see was the more, you know, better looking guys, the quote unquote physically select guys. They saw them with women all day. So they just assumed that if you look a certain way, if you have a certain type of body, that it's always going to be easy for you and you're just going to be slaying women left and right. Now, there's validity to that, but when you're younger, you can get away with not really having too much of a personality and too much of a mouthpiece. But when you get older, you know, mid, late 20s and beyond, yo man, if you don't know how to converse with women, it don't matter how you look, okay, you're going to get your ass rejected because your mind ain't right and your game ain't tight. Yeah, you look the part, but you don't behave like the part. Physically select, mentally non-select. Select man with the non-select mindset. Shout out Ron Wills, I'm out.